Hello and welcome back in this special requested video by Mr. 93 underscore single overhead cam or SOHC. Yes, so he requested the legendary Honda F22A6 inline-4 engine, and I received a cool comment from him that he wants me to convert it to a turbocharged beast without changing basically anything mechanically in this engine. He want the engine to stay the same internals, same valve system, same basically everything, except a turbocharger and a new exhaust system, and tune it to work. So as you can see, I've made a clone of F22A6. As you can see, I cannot change anything here. It's still an inline-4 aluminum block with 85mm on the bore and 95 on the stroke, 2156 cc, still the same single overhead cam with 4 valves per cylinder, aluminum heads, no VVL. As you can see, still the same cast internals, zero quality. It's still the same compression ratio, 8.8 to 1. Still the same cam profile, the same camshaft, 40 on the cam profile, no VVL, no VVT, +1 quality as the original engine. As you can see, I've made a custom turbocharger with ball bearings, 547 horsepower supporting intercooler with 52mm on the compressor, 30.5 on the turbine. Yes, I know the turbine is small, so I can make the turbo spool faster, and as you can see, the AR ratio is maxed out, so I can achieve the highest horsepower as possible. This is very perfect. Let me explain why I always choose the maximum AR ratio with the least turbine. I've tried to make them in between, which means medium AR ratio with with higher or bigger turbine. That makes good power, the same horsepower actually. That makes the same amount of horsepower, but this will make, or that conversion will make the turbo actually. It will make the engine very laggy. It will make the turbo spool up very late, which I don't like about turbocharged engines. And if you do this way, which means maximum AR ratio with the least turbine, but you have to pay attention to the horsepower, because there will be a time or a limit that a maximum AR ratio will not work. Well, it will actually will make no extra horsepower. You have to pay attention to this point, which you will need to set the AR ratio and the turbine to the perfect spot. But usually, like 90% of the time, this way works. Maximum AR ratio with the least amount of turbine. You can increase the turbine size a little bit, but not so much that you will make the turbo or the engine laggy. The compressor size is set wherever you want the power to continue all the way to the max RPM, or if you want the power to be in between. If you want to make a daily driving engine that you want the power to be in between, this is set by the compressor and the AR ratio as well. You can set them both. And of course, if you put a very big compressor with a very little turbine, also you will make the engine laggy, so you have to pay attention to put it in between. This is the basic science of making a turbocharged engine in automation. Max boost, this is also set by the amount of fuel going in, if the engine will not explode or not, or if the internals can take this amount of boost, because more boost will make more power. But sometimes when you push a lot of boost in, the engine will not make any extra power, but it will make a humongous amount of torque. It will make so much torque that it will destroy the internals. You have to pay attention also to this point. Too much boost will also kill the engine by destroying the internals, especially the pistons and the connecting rods. The crankshaft usually takes huge amount of torque, but it will also crack or explode if you push so much boost in. So this is basically, as you can see right now, this is the maximum this engine can take. The internal I started with 20 psi, but the internals started to melt, so I set it on 15.5 psi of boost with +1 quality, as you can see, and this custom turbocharger. Moving on, I did not make any modifications here. It's still the same multi-point fuel injection, single throttle body, standard intake. but I switched from using 91 octane fuel to 95. Of course, you have to put a higher octane in your engine when you turbocharged it, because you don't want your engine to explode, and the engine will need more octane to work with boost and everything else. As you can see, I've pushed a little bit more fuel in, and I've dropped the ignition timing a little bit down so I can make the engine work perfectly. I have raised the RPM from 6000 to 6200 because the internals can take all the way to 6300, but increasing it to 6300 will not make any extra effort. It will make the engine spin faster, but it will not make any extra horsepower. So I kept it this way. Zero quality as the original engine. Yes, this is a completely new exhaust system. Now, it used to be smaller, now it's 3-inch exhaust diameter and or 76.2 millimeters. The Carla converter is still the same. No first muffler, the second muffler is reverse flow. So yes, a different exhaust, still plus 15 as the original engine. I did not change the quality here. Before I continue and show you the horsepower, now the cool fan that he requested this video, he told me that these engines in real life can take all the way up to 450 horsepower. Well, in automation, I could not achieve even 300 horsepower. The engine exploded at 280. Yes, you are hearing me correctly. The engine exploded at 280. Yes, so I have to do it as perfectly as safe as this. So as you can see, I'm making 234 horsepower and 244 pound-feet of torque. As you can see, it's higher than before. It used to be, I don't remember, 160, 140. I think 140. It used to be 140 horsepower. Yes, now it's nearly 240. So we have like an extra, nearly 240. So we have like an extra 90 horsepower and a lot of torque, a lot of extra torque, as you can see. So yes, boost can make more power. Even with a single muffler, the engine is still very quiet. 22.5, still very quiet. I mean, if I want, I can put straight through. It will make like an extra pound-feet of torque. That's it, 1 pound-feet of torque. And if I want to sacrifice for only 1 pound-feet of torque because you will not feel it, I prefer reverse flow because I want to keep the engine quiet. With reverse flow, it will be 29. This will be considered as a sport engine. With reverse flow, it will be still quiet, and you can daily drive this beast with your new custom turbocharger. So it's a basic thing to do. It's a cool thing to do to turbocharge your engine, especially if it has been done professionally and perfectly well, like this one. No extra effort, just bolt on your new manifold, your new turbocharger, your intercooler, these new pipes here, your wastegate, your blow-off valves, connect your new vacuum lines, and as you can see, bolt on your new exhaust system. And if you can get this kind of tune on a basic tuning computer, which you will plug into your OBD2 sensor, OBD2 port, and you can just flash your ECU. You can just turn the key and drive it safely without any problems, and even you don't want to go and without going to the dyno. This is perfect. Can you imagine these kits in real life? I wish that companies that makes turbochargers, that if they can do like kits for cars, that parts you can just bolt on, and they can give you like the new ECU flash and everything with the instructions and what kind of fuel you should run. It will be just perfect. I would immediately buy one. I mean, yes, custom turbos are amazing. But they requires a lot of work, a lot of welding, pipes, and everything. Okay, enough chit chat. Let me just turn on or fire up this beast. this is so perfect because can you imagine the Honda Civic or whatever model, but I prefer the Honda Civic. If this engine were in a Honda Civic, as I think that it should be, can you imagine it started in life as a 140 horsepower? You're driving your Honda every day with a 140 horsepower. I mean, Honda Civics are not the old ones, the classic ones, not the new one. The new one is heavy, but the old one used to be very light and very nimble. And yes, can you imagine starting with 140 horsepower and then bolting on this beautiful turbocharger, and you will get 235 or 234. Can you imagine the difference in drivability when you just turn on the engine, let it warm up, and then you put on the first gear, and then you will start to accelerate a little bit to eliminate wheel spin, and then you put your foot down and bank shift the gears. Wow, it would be an amazing feeling. So thank you so much, Mr. 93_ single overhead cam or SOHC. Thank you so much. It has been a cool setup, a cool turbo conversion. As you can see, I'm not really sure about the spelling here, but I wish that it's correct or not because I did not check it. Okay, so thank you so much guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember as always, hit that like button, get subscribed, and share the video if you want to share it, and keep requesting more cool videos. And I do apologize if I'm not making any requests, because most of you guys are requesting impossible engines, like the BRM V16. I mean, it's a cool engine, it's a legendary engine, but I cannot make it because automation can only support 50mm bore and stroke, and the BRM V16 is 48-49, and that will not work here. So if you want to request an engine, please make sure to watch my previous videos so you can know what kind of options you have in automation, so you can know if your engine is supported by the game or not. Thank you so much guys for watching. I will see you very soon, and happy Friday to all, and have a great day, great weekend, great night, whatever your time zone it is, and I will see you very soon, and goodbye my friends.